Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Ruach HaKadosh. Double honors to elders and apostles, a great millstone, who are teaching this truth. And a shout out to Yakim that's out there on the four corners of the earth proclaiming this truth. As you know, another false flag has just happened. And, you know, we already knew that they were going to set off a series of false flags ever since the so-called bomb scare, which these bombs were never even detonated, nor were they really sent, but they used their fake news to convince you that somebody sent bombs to the ex-presidents. Because Esau, you know, can't come up with any good lies. No, he tries to give you the same bullshit over and over again, just like they do every time there's an election. You know, they put off a bunch of false flags as you get near the elections. So the so-called elections are November 6th, so about a week from now. And so they are going to keep on generating false flags to get you to vote for their bullshit two-party system. As if it makes any difference, you know, because it doesn't make any difference. They're going to do what they're going to do. These Rockefellers run everything. So you got another one now, a so-called synagogue shooting. And as I had stated before, 98% of the shootings in America are fake. Meaning that the ones that they show you on TV are all fake, they're all staged, made to look like, but aren't really. You know, because that's what they do. They run the media. You got crisis actors and you got people that stage events. So this last staged events was to say, was actually to shut down social media. You see what they're doing is they're shutting down the social media. They're shutting down the platform, which will bring in the famine of the word. They shut down another platform, which was an alternative to Facebook, because, you know, they just want to narrow it down to where there's only Facebook and Twitter, because those are heavily regulated. You know, pretty much thought police and doublethink, just like the George Orwell's 1984. So thought police and doublethink. So, you know, if you're thinking of opposing what they're doing, you know, if you oppose to the war in Syria, which is pretty much bullshit, you know, Bashar al-Assad's not gassing his own people. That piece of shit in the fucking White House is the one gassing his people. You just look up to the skies and you can see the fucking chemtrails and the fucking GMOs that are in foods, and don't forget the fluoride in the water. So, who's a fucking gas-killing animal? That piece of shit in the White House, which is really run by the goddamn Amalekites, the Edomites. So you think that because they pull off this false flag, that's going to change our message? That we're just going to all of a sudden, oh, you can't say that. That might be anti-Semitic, which anti-Semitic's not even in the Bible, proving that they're not the real Jews. Because there's no such thing as an Ashkenazi Jew. Ashkenaz is a son of Japheth. So you cannot be sons of Japheth and be Judah at the same time. It's not going to happen. You know, though we've been scattered to all these places, but we're not calling ourselves Ashkenazi Jews. No, we're the original 12 tribes of Israel that make up Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and then confuse their faces like myself. People that don't look like they're Israelites, but are Israelites, because these are the places that we've been scattered. So pretty much what's happened is Esau is falling from his power structure, so the only thing that they can do is run their fake news, their false flags, so they can lock down the society, because the society now is thinking for itself, thinking outside the box. A lot of people ain't watching goddamn fucking Fox or CNN or ABC anymore. They're not waiting to catch the 5 o'clock news or the 6 o'clock news. They're going to alternative methods, and it's really about shutting down that platform. That's why they did the beta test with YouTube shutting down, which actually it was the Most High himself that caused this, when he sent those chariots, which is what NASA was trying to monitor, which is the reason why YouTube got shut down, telling us that we need to speed things up. We need to be more diligent. Last year was the year of death, diligence, and destruction, which we've seen plenty of it. And this year is the year of prophecy, the year that we must prophesy of the things to come, the famine of the word. Then, you know, like I said before, Trump winning second term, and then the downfall, the economic collapse, and everything else that comes along with it. The martial law, the push for the microchip, because like I said before, Real ID is now all 50 states. Just happened at the beginning of this year, the year of prophecy. So with Real ID out there, what do you think that's going to be replaced with? RFID, where you have to put it in your hand or in your forehead or anywhere else to where they can track you. So I'm reading out Joel chapter 3, starting verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, which are talking about all you other heathen. Prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up, beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong, which is what's happening now. The weak have become strong. Persia would have never been able to stand up to the giant, the United States, nor any of these other countries. But now they're going with Russia, because Russia's being thou a guard unto them. Assemble yourselves and come up, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves round about. Thither cause the mighty ones to come down, O Lord Yahweh. So that's what's happening, is they're now preparing for war. They're spending all their money on their military might. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. For there I will sit to judge all the heathen round about. That's why they can't let Syria go. That's why this recent event in Saudi Arabia, which the reason why they killed him to begin with, they killed that guy in Turkey, Istanbul consulate, because he had evidence that Saudi Arabia was using chemical weapons against the people of Yemen. And he had the evidence to prove this and to back this, so they couldn't let that get out. So they assassinated him. That's the real reason behind it. Because who is the gas-killing animal? The United States and its allies. Because ISIS comes right out of Saudi Arabia. So who are the murderers? Who is using chemical weapons? United States and its allies. But they're going to tell you that Bashar al-Assad is. Right. Yeah. Bashar al-Assad won't even let GMOs in his country. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come and get ye down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for the wickedness is great. Multitudes, multitudes, in the valley of decision. For the day of the Lord Yahweh is near in the valley of decision. So what's that talking about? That's talking about the Middle East out there. This war is about to take off. And in the meantime, though, what's happening is the fall of Esau's kingdom is happening. They have to come up with these false flags, so that's the only thing that they got. It's their fake news. But they're going to say that anybody that opposes their news is fake news. They try to flip the coin. And so read out of Isaiah here, get into this. Yeah, I'll just start out in verse 1 and kind of skip down. For the Lord Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. Which is talking about the real Israelites, the 12 tribes of Israel. Those Amalekites ain't the real Israelites. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Right, because, and who are the strangers being spoken of? Your confusion of faces, that still go back to being the 12 tribes. And this is about what's going to happen to Esau. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, persecuted, and none hindereth. For a long time, nobody would ever stand up to the United States because they were afraid of what it would do. And they shall speak and say unto thee, Art thou become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? So in other words, what's happening, though, is that they're seeing that this place is broke. All the places that you used to like to go to, they've either tore it down, lack of business, lack of sales, whatever excuses they give. You just had the guy that plundered Sears and pretty much destroyed its economy on purpose by giving loans to himself, And this part, you can say that this fits Donald Trump perfectly. Thy plump is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vials. The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. Pretty much Donald J. Trump, everybody looks at him as a broadcast because everybody knows that the Rockefellers bailed his ass out. So why would they listen to that broadcast? How art thou fallen from heaven? And this is not about Satan getting kicked out of heaven. This is talking about Esau and his power structure. Because Satan just means adversary, by the way. So, basically, in this form of heaven, which means a kingdom, how art thou fallen from your kingdom? O Lucifer, son of the morning, how art thou cut down to the ground which did weaken the nations? Because the United States has been the main weapon of Esau to tear down all the nations. Look at what happened to Iraq, Libya, Afghanistan, all these places, and these are recent events. We could talk about what they've done to Korea and to Vietnam. They've decimated these places. They're afraid of the United States and what it'll do to them. But yet, you know, the proudness of Esau, because he's done all these things, for thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God, which are talking about the 12 tribes of Israel. I will also sit in the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north, which is this northern country, which is where all 12 tribes are, aka America. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. You know, you sit and you judge everything, and you play God, and you do all these things. But yet, thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. In other words, you're going to be brought down to a low. This place is going to become a forever desolation. You know, every unclean and hateful bird will pass by it. They shall see that thou shalt narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man, the Edomites, that made the earth to tremble, that did shake the nations, that made the world a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners? All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, every one in his own house. But thou art cast out into thy grave like an abominable branch, and the raiment of those that slain thou thrust with a sword that go to the stones of the pit as a carcass trodden underfoot. So pretty much, Esau's kingdom is about to be brought down, and it will never rise again. Of all the other nations, they'll come back, but they'll be subject under us, the 12 tribes of Israel. But Esau's kingdom will never come back. They will be destroyed utterly after the 1,000 years of captivity, and then shall be destroyed forever. But this coming judgment is for all those that were partaker in Babylon the Great, America, you know, that love America more than they love the Most High, that trust in America more than they trust in the Most High. But you can see, though, that everything that you used to love to do and all that is being torn down. Martial law is coming. The famine of the word will come when we will no longer be out here to proclaim this. So now's the time to get in. This is the last run. So get out here and prophesy while you still can. And get this word while you still can. There isn't much time left. For that, I want to say, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash, Brakatham. Hope this has been edified. Shalom.